Hello. You've asked me here to try to find fresh water that we can use for drinking water or for any other use around the home in a specific region on the planet Earth. To do that, we've used Google Earth as our tool. Google Earth is nice because it can show us the weather and it can show us the geography around a certain area. For this example, I've chosen Valdez to look at. What I'm specifically looking at is the geographical area surrounding Valdez and how it might affect the weather. I also want to see if I can predict the weather by taking data from Google Earth. And I can do that, I've done that by checking weather sites for 4 months. And every week, twice a week, I check the data and write it down. I take that data and then make a graph to see what the averages are and see if there is actually fresh water coming in the form of precipitation, rain or snow. But first, I want to look for clues. Am I going to find rain there? One thing I want to look for is anything that can create weather. And as I know through my lessons, that anytime I've got mountains or anything that pushes weather up, I might have the effect of rain. It might cause rain or snow to fall. So I wanted to look very carefully. And what I found were a lot of white here in this area, which tells me a lot of snow falls in that area. So that's one clue that I was able to find. Second, water. The water cycle needs a source of water, which I have right here. I've got the Prince William Sound and the Pacific Ocean down here. So another thing that I did is I created a diagram of this area. First though, I want to show you my data. This is the data that I put into Google Docs. And I checked the average temperature, precipitation, and snowfall. Oops. Valdez is just north of the Gulf of Alaska, its water source. And surrounding Valdez are the mountains. Pretty much completely around Valdez are all mountains. Just behind the mountains is a big valley. When I first take a look at a region, I first want to look at clues. How exactly is the area around the region going to affect the weather? I'm looking for deserts, clues, maybe if there's any plants, any snow, any ice, possibly mountains, flat deserts, rolling hills, big giant trees. Here in Valdez, I noticed there were mountains surrounding Valdez. These mountains stop the clouds from going farther into Alaska, keeping Valdez wet and the valley to the north dry. The water process, or the water cycle, happens frequently in Valdez, as we can tell from all that snow up in the mountains. Water from the Pacific Ocean evaporates into the air and is pushed towards Valdez by the wind. Condensation occurs. Wind forces water vapor up the mountains where the cold air condenses the vapor and makes clouds. Precipitation. When the clouds become too heavy, they rain or snow. Rain or snow will become ice, maybe river water, may find themselves in a lake, or groundwater. These are all possibilities where we might be able to use that fresh water. Another thing that I wanted to be able to do and to apply is to make sure that I could possibly predict or forecast the weather. And what certain skills do I need to do that? First, I need to take data, which I showed you with Google Docs. Second, I need to put that in a graph so I can easily understand it. Here what I've done is I've taken the Valdez, Alaska average monthly temperatures and total precipitation. But for here, we're just looking at monthly temperatures. I have my temperatures right here from 0 to 60 degrees. That was my range, or a good range to work. Here I've got average temperature for April, for May, June, and July. As I can see in April, it's still a little cold. But as we go, every single month, we start to get warmer and warmer. Now I figured, it was my hypothesis, that I could possibly predict or forecast the weather for this time of the year. If I were to do this maybe 2 or 3 years, and if I would see the same type of trend, I can start kind of figuring out or seeing where my weather is going to go for, say, August. So this is the main part. We're looking for fresh water. And this graph shows us rainfall. Here we have rainfall in April, a little bit more in May and June, and total rainfall. We've got snowfall in April, but drops off in May, June, and July when it gets too cold. Too warm for any type of snow. So we do have rainfall that we can use. So we do have fresh water near this region. Well, one other thing I can show you here is, there we go. We have got rivers, all sorts of rivers in this area. We've got a huge river, this is the Copper River, that has lots of fresh water. But I've also been told, though, this is going to be difficult to get clean water out of since it's completely covered in silt from the glaciers. We'd have to find a way to filter it. But in the summer times, we've got all this rain, we've got all this runoff here near Valdez. We've got rivers down through here. See if we can get closer to Valdez here. Whoa! Too far. But we can find it. There we go. There. I see a river running through here, so any single time, there we go. I see a river running through here, so any single time I find a river, that's going to tell me that I've got fresh water, or at least a chance for fresh water, especially in the summer months. In the winter months, all of this will be frozen. So, through the use of collecting data, through the use of analyzing geographical landforms using Google Earth, I can decide whether or not there's going to be fresh water. So I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. Thank you very much for your time.